I will start the recording, and Diane, you can kick us off.
Good evening, everyone. Bi-monthly plans meeting for May 13th, 2025. We would like to welcome everyone to this meeting. Next slide, please. So just a quick note about the Hill CDC, the Development Corporation. We are a place-based Greater Hill District. We like to say it's where cultural legacy meets future innovation, and we are celebrating over 38 years of operation, which we founded in 1987. Next slide. We focus our work on the people of the Hill, places of the Hill, and policies that affect the Hill District. Our work includes real estate development on the core, commercial core, and home ownership. We also work on economic development programs, including business and entrepreneurship, home ownership preparation, the arts and culture, and policy and planning, including promotion of development and neighborhood planning. Next slide. Our mission is the Hill CDC works in partnership with residents and stakeholders to create, promote, and implement strategies and programs that connect plans, policy, and people to drive compelling community development operations in the Greater Hill District. This meeting, the bi-monthly plan meeting, offers residents, stakeholders, and neighborhood planners a structured opportunity to engage in productive discussions about ongoing planning initiatives in the area, receive updates on current projects, and share feedback to ensure consistency with the Greater Hill District Master Plan. Tonight's agenda includes some updates from the Hill CDC, including upcoming programs, a day of action or civil engagement opportunities, the development review panel projects, the Greater Hill District Master Plan adoption, the Nafasi Green Space, New Granada Square retails, and New Granada construction process. We also have guest speakers, including the Pittsburgh Regional Transit, that will go over the funding crisis, proposed changes, background information, service cuts, para-transit information, and what you can do today. We also have Pittsburgh Vacant Lot Programs with us. They're going to give you an overview of the Hill District lots, 3 types of programs and agreements, and process steps and resources you can take. Next slide. So just for some quick updates, we want to make sure you're aware of opportunities and resources that you can take advantage of here in the Hill District. If you're a business owner, understand that we have partnered up with the Small Business Development Centers with the University of Pittsburgh, Chatham University, and Duquesne University. They come to the Hill at least once a month to work with any business owners that would like to do so here in the Hill District. They meet with us in our Hill CDC office on the first floor in the BizU lab. Also, we have partnered up with the Department of Equity and Inclusion, and then also the Neighborhood Community Development Fund. You can find all this information on our Hill District website, and you can register to meet with one of those partners. Also, if you're considering buying your house for the first time, there are homeowner workshops that are available throughout the year. We usually meet on the 3rd Saturday. It is a registered opportunity where you do have to register online for the class. The next one that's going to be available will be June 14th. And you can also register on our website, hilldistrict.org/register. Next. This week, and we still have seats available, we will be heading to Harrisburg. We want you to get on the bus. There's a free bus tour to Harrisburg so that we can engage in the 4th annual K. Leroy Irvis Day of Action. We will be meeting with our legislators, and we will depart from the Hill at the Hill House at 6 a.m. We will be going into an agenda, full day agenda, with plenty of activities for both the young and mature. And then there will also be a free lunch as well. So if you're interested in going, please make sure you do this quickly because those seats are going well, very, very fast. Also, we do have voter outreach opportunities available. This is a very limited time offer as well. If you're interested, you can go and check it out on hilldistrict.org/connect. There are volunteer opportunities. Some of them have stipend and some of them are pure opportunities for volunteer. Upcoming on May 15th, that's also this Thursday at 11 a.m., Amani is doing a groundbreaking ceremony of the African Queen Project. This is a project that went through the development review panel. We're really excited about this groundbreaking. Please join them on May 15th at 11 a.m. They will be at the Nafasi Gallery vacant lot next door to the gallery. Please join them in their celebration. So just quickly, we have some projects that are currently under review with the Development Review Panel Committee. And if you're interested in seeing details about this, you can simply go to our website, hilldistrict.org/DRP, and follow up on all the progress. So the next slide shows the first project we're looking at, which is Summers Drive. This is one of the Bedford Choice projects. It is a 65 unit of mixed units of walk-in townhome and stacked townhome units. 33 units will be affordable in the LIHTC program. There are replacement units for family earning 20 to 60% AMI. 10 units will be additional affordable units at 60% AMI, and 22 units will be at market rate. Next slide. This is just a brief review of what that property will look like at the conclusion of the renovation. One of the other projects that is currently under review is Fifth and Van Brand. This is a major project that is being completed by the Stout Group. The housing is 194 units, 5% affordable at 80% AMI. 11% will be studios, 35% will be a one-bedroom, 36% will be a one-bedroom with a den, 18% will be a two-bedroom. There will be ground commercial space at about 88,000 square feet. There will be 100 internal parking spaces. They will also include a fitness room, a leasing out office, a lounge, a pool deck and club, rooftop terrace, and the bike storage. Real quick, some community updates. The Greater Hill District Master Plan is in the process. We are still collecting feedback at this point. Feedback is all due by May 21st. We want to make sure that anybody and everybody that has an opportunity to review it, do so. You can click on this QR code to take you to the page of the Engage Pittsburgh page where the master plan is being housed, and that you can provide feedback. Please, please, please make sure that you get your information in. Make sure that you're aware of what that Greater Hill District Master Plan is going to look like. Next page, next page. We have several areas in the Hill District that are under renovation. One of the places that we are in the process of gathering community engagement is the Nafasi green space next to the gallery. That green space recently had a tree planting ceremony. If you drive past the Nafasi Gallery, you'll see our Nafasi magnolia tree that was actually dedicated by Mayor Ed Gainey and the City Forestry Department and the Pittsburgh Zoo, as well as the Hill CDC. It is in a lot that the children actually helped to develop plans that we are still in the process of completing. And if you are interested in getting involved in community development, please just hit us up so that we can make sure that you get a chance to be at the table to do this type of work, including developing plans like the one you're looking at now, and working with different agencies to make the community come to life. And this is a plan, the plan that you're looking at now was created by multiple departments, including the Pittsburgh Zoo, Wiles Elementary School, Hill CDC, Nafasi Artists, the Mason Lodge next door. All of these community members are coming together to put together a vacant lot that has been vacant for a long time and making something beautiful. So if you are interested in doing this type of work, again, please make sure the Hill CDC knows so that we can get you engaged. Another development that's under place, we recently had a charrette for, is the New Granada Square apartment retail base. This is another opportunity where the community came together and they're looking for opportunities to bring in new businesses into the community. And so we've been working with different agencies to see what the community wants in these retail bays. What type of businesses are they looking for? What do they want the business bays to look like? And so community members came together in the charrette and gave us their ideas and what the community needs are so that we can begin to source those businesses. If you're a business owner and you're interested in one of these bays, please reach out to me at dday@hilldistrict.org so that I can really give you a tour and make sure you understand what the great opportunities are here in the Hill District as far as moving your business to the Hill. Next page. As you know, things are happening in the Hill District big time. And so one of the major assets in the community is the historic New Granada Theater. And that is under major renovation right now. All the external windows have been installed, and now the business building is weatherproof. This is something that is major. It hasn't been done in decades. There are some remaining gaps for construction purposes that we are working on. Masonry is near completion, except for the ticket booth area on Center Avenue, and the internal stairs and elevator towers are now near complete, and it is now fireproof, and the roof has been insulated. So real quick, next slide. As you can see in some of the pictures, the wall framing is going up, and the design details on the marquee is being finalized with our architect. You'll see the marquee within the next 30 days. Project remains on schedule and is to be completed by the end of 2025. And so that top level of the New Granada Theater will house the Pitt Community Engagement Center. And so these are just some of the pictures that exist now in the New Granada Theater. And we're super excited about this major project. This is going to be a major drawing card for the Hill District. And so we, as you may have heard before, we are really working on phase 1. Once that's complete, we'll start on phase 2, which will be the Black Box Theater, the multi-purpose event space, and the cafe lounge. Phase 2 is being coordinated with a request for bid for construction. And so if you're a construction company, you want to keep an eye out for construction opportunities. And if you are a Hill District member, you can be part of this build out by just making a simple donation. The donation is going to help us not only build out the Hill District, but also as we engage with the community, it helps us appeal to other funders when they see that the community is engaged with the project as well. So please click on the QR code and begin to give into this project. Next slide. So now I am going to pass the baton over to the Pittsburgh Regional Transit Department, and Ms. Darcy Cleaver is going to present now.
Hello, thank you very much, Diane. Can you all hear me okay? Great, okay. So is there gonna be time for questions? I failed to ask that question.
Yes, we're live streaming on Facebook. We're going to try our best to keep track of that.
Okay.
If people have questions, we'll pass that on to you. Diane, are you able to monitor that?
I do not see it at this time.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to get started because I know we are very limited on time, and I am not in Pittsburgh. I'm going to get right to it. So good evening. Thank you to the Hill CDC for asking PRT to come tonight about this very important subject. My name is Darcy Cleaver, and I am the Deputy Chief Planning Officer at PRT. So I'm here to talk to you about the state transit funding crisis. State funding has not kept up with public transportation needs in Allegheny County, causing us to have this structural deficit that will continue to grow every year without an additional investment. Right now, PRT is looking at approximately 117 million deficit in funding. To support our current levels of service for the next decade. This would also require growth in the local match here in Pittsburgh. The cost of doing nothing today increases the need for an even greater investment tomorrow. Next slide. So a quick summary of the proposed changes is what we're looking at here. Facing this deficit is for our fixed route, which is bus, light rail, and incline, is up to a 40% decrease in service and a 9% increase on the fares that go into the actual fare box. PRT also has paratransit service that is available for folks who are independently unable to use the fixed route system. That is our Access Paratransit service. It is sponsored by PRT. And that is also facing a service reduction up to 62% of the minimum requirement for ADA. And it is also looking at a 20% increase in the paratransit fares. So historically, from 2002 to where we are today, we have already lost a very significant percentage of our service, up to 36%. In 2002, we had a 4% reduction. In 2007, some of you may remember some of the funding crisis in 2011 and 2007, where we reduced service in 2007 by 15%, and in 2011 by 14%. And then on top of that, with COVID, between 2020 and 2023, we also had a reduction of approximately 14% of the service out there on the street. So, you know, over time, you can see how the service is continuing to shrink. We know that right now the cuts that are being proposed will most likely really hit our riders who have no other options. So, you know, I wish I was coming to talk with you all tonight about something really exciting. Unfortunately, I'm not. This is a very important issue, and we want to make sure that, you know, folks are very aware of what's going on right now. I do want to mention that, you know, this is a lot, what I've just conveyed out here to you. And I want to assure you that PRT staff has been working very, very hard, extremely hard. We've been spending a lot of time in Harrisburg, and we're doing everything that we can to ensure that we can minimize these service reductions and fare increases as much as we can. Next slide. So facing $117 million deficit and looking at a 40% service reduction, we had a lot of work to do here. And one of the first things that we had to do was look at how we were going to propose these service reductions and how we were going to put them together to make them. So the main thing is maintaining high ridership on our high efficiency routes. By retaining robust service on those high efficiency routes to avoid what we're calling a death spiral in ridership in Allegheny County. Of course, you know, the more that you reduce service, the more it's unattractive to folks to use. And you know that when you reduce service, you're also going to reduce your ridership. And that's where we're talking about that death spiral. We want to ensure that we're minimizing adverse effects on our equity communities. and minimizing adverse coverage impacts. So we were looking at focusing route eliminations where there's duplicative service, where there could be two routes operating along a similar corridor where there's some other options, and turning routes into some shorter versions of themselves, which may feed into our existing busways or the rail system, etc. So how did we do this? It was very difficult, I can assure you of that. So this is an 8-step process here that you're looking at on the screen. So remember I said we were looking at having to be forced to compile some service reductions up to 40%. So the first thing on this list here was looking at eliminating very low efficiency routes, which was regular routes and commuter routes. And as you can see on the right-hand side, that savings only got us about 0.6%. The second thing we looked at was eliminating local and commuter routes that have significant service overlaps with other routes. That got us about a 0.9%. Then we looked at number 3, shortening select routes to become feeder routes, including the airport service. So that would mean that the airport service it's proposed to no longer start in Oakland and run through to downtown Pittsburgh and then Robinson and then go to the airport. The proposal would be to have that airport service just run between the airport and the Carnegie station on our West Busway, where folks would then have to transfer to another route on the busway. That got us about a 2% savings. The fourth thing on here is eliminating all service after 11 p.m. on all routes 7 days a week. That was another 4%, and the cumulative percentage there got us to about 7.5%. The after 11 p.m. service, we know that folks use that. Those are our service workers. Those are, the folks that work in your restaurants and bartenders and cleaners and folks that work third shifts at hospitals and stuff like that. The ridership is lower after 11 p.m., but we know that there are folks that definitely need that service and depend on it to get to where they're going. The fifth thing on here was eliminating most low efficiency routes and all low efficiency commuter routes. You can see here where this is then starting to get into kind of really eating into our system. That savings got us about another 7.7% and got us to about 15.2% of the service. Number 6 here is reducing service frequencies on many of our existing 98 routes. That was another 11.3%. We're now at 26%. Number 7 is eliminating high efficiency commuter routes. Those are our commuter routes that are coming from park and rides in different areas that are bringing folks into downtown Pittsburgh. We're at about 27.9% there. And then last but not least, number 8 here is eliminating some moderate efficiency routes throughout the system, which got us another 7.1% and got us to about 35% of those service reductions. Through every step of that process, we were hoping to at least maintain service in 25% of our equity communities. But when you're looking at a service reduction of that amount, we unfortunately just were not able to do it. We ended up maintaining that in about the top 10% equity communities in each step of this process. Next slide, please. So on the next slide here, what you're looking at is kind of a breakdown what I just explained to you. So on the left-hand side of the screen is a list of 41 routes that are being proposed for total elimination in the system, including our silver light rail line that runs between downtown Pittsburgh and South Park and Library. The middle section here is a breakdown of major service reductions on another 34 routes And on the right-hand side of the screen is a list of about 20 routes where we are proposing minor service reductions, including the Monongahela Incline. And the Monongahela Incline basically runs on demand. So that minor service reduction is basically that service loss after 11 p.m. Next slide. So what we're looking at on the screen here now is a map of Allegheny County. And this shows you a list of all of the municipalities that would be completely be losing transit service. That's Ambridge, Ben Avon, Brackenridge, East McKeesport, Edgeworth, Emsworth, Glen Osborne, Glenfield, Hampton, Harrison, Hayesville, Leetsdale, North Fayette, Pitcairn, Reserve, Shaler, South Park, Trafford, and Upper St. Clair. Also in the city of Pittsburgh, there are 3 neighborhoods being Banksville, Ridgemont, and Swiss Elm Park. So you can see here on the screen the communities that are losing all of their service and where service would be retained. With this proposal, we would also be completely losing service to St. Clair Hospital, the CCAC West Campus, and many kindergarten through 12 schools. Other direct and indirect impacts with this service proposal is with no funding in the budget, we are proposing these service reductions and therefore also proposing we would not have a budget for any special services. That means extra service for your football, baseball, hockey, pit sporting events. That also includes the 2026 NFL draft. We are currently providing extra service for parades and festivals and holidays, races, large events like concerts, such as Taylor Swift, Kenny Chesney, all those big ones. So when you're proposing a major service reduction to your everyday riders Monday through Friday, the impact spreads everywhere here. So that's why this proposal is also for the special event service. Some people aren't aware that we also own a large amount of bridges throughout Allegheny County. And there are actually 3 bridges in Emsworth that we operate bus service over. And with the elimination of the 19L being proposed, we would also propose to close those 3 bridges. So one of the important things here is that, whether you ride transit or you don't, if you're a rider, this could potentially really affect you. But even if you're not a rider, it could affect the person that's making your coffee or where you go to have dinner, or whether you're in your car and you're going to experience, some more traffic getting to where you're going. Obviously, with this type of proposal for service reductions, we would also be proposing to close 2 of our operating divisions, bus garages, that's the Collier and the Ross division. We also own and operate the Wabash Tunnel that is located by Station Square. We would be proposing to close that as well. 10 park and ride lots that consist of almost 2,000 parking spaces, and 12 light rail stops along the Silver Line light rail library service. Next slide. So coming to speak with you today, I'm sure that you want to know, what does that mean for the Hill District? And the good news is that the 81, the 82, and the 83 are still proposed to be maintained. However, their frequency of service would be a minor reduction and a major reduction. So what you can see here on the screen here in the pink is where the major reductions are being proposed on the 81 and the 82. And what that means is that they will operate on a 20-minute to 40-minute frequency, depending on if it's peak service or off-peak service. The 83 is also proposed for some minor reductions, where that would operate also on a 20 to 40 peak and midday service frequency. I did throw on here the 61 A, B, and C and the 71B coming through Uptown. Those routes are also being retained. They are not proposed for elimination, but they are also proposed for some minor reductions where they would operate on like a 20-minute frequency. So they would change a bit. Next slide. So to conclude what I've been talking about here, just an overview is we are proposing no late evening service after 11 p.m. With this proposal, there would definitely be more transfer requirements for folks who are utilizing the system. We anticipate that there will be more bus and train overcrowding with the service reductions. We anticipate that there's going to be significant event traffic after, sports and cultural events without the additional transit service, taking people out of the city. Higher traffic volumes during peak times on the roads, and not to mention the environmental impacts to the region and the air quality, and a reduced access for folks to get to jobs. On the fare side, for the bus, light rail, and incline, right now our current fare is $2.75. We're proposing a 25-cent increase to that cash fare, which is a 9% increase. And I'm not going to go through all of these on here, but all of this information is on our website. I know that we're, under a short condensed period of time here. The paratransit service that I talked about, again, we haven't had a fare increase on the paratransit side for quite some time. So the increase on the para side is a little bit higher. What you're looking at on the screen here is on the left, it shows the current general fare, which is $21 a person. That's not what the rider pays. That's what it costs to provide that trip. But the individual, depending on the sponsor that they have that's paying for that trip, would pay $3.15 right now. The proposed fare is $3.90. That is a 75% increase and a 24% increase to the fare. Paratransit service cut. ADA law guarantees that PRT provide via our paratransit system trips for persons with disabilities with origins and destinations that are 3/4 of a mile of a non-commuter fixed route operating at that time of day on that day of the week. PRT's proposed service cuts to the fixed route system will make more trips eligible for persons with disabilities through our PWD program, which applies when riders are outside of this service area. Riders in the PWD program, however, are not guaranteed the same protections as they are under the ADA, and their trip times can be changed, and they will likely experience more trip denials if the service proposal goes through. So these riders with disabilities will lose their service protection and full confidence that paratransit will always be able to take them where they need to go. This map on the screen here that you're seeing, the area in the blue, this is the 62% service reduction to the paratransit area. This is kind of what we call the starfish, like where the fixed route system goes and how the paratransit operates in between those pockets. All the area on the blue would be the area that would be retained under the ADA service area. And you can see all these areas in pink that would no longer be covered under that any longer. So what can you do? Contact your state senators and House representatives to share with them your concerns about the reduced transit and access service and increased costs if a solution is not found. This is not a federal issue. This is a state issue. You can learn more about the potential impacts by going to our website at www.rideprt.org/funding-crisis and participate in some of the advocacy campaigns. Participate in our meetings, spread the word on social media, join a local advocacy effort, and this could really make a difference. We are holding 3 public hearings. Make your voice heard. You can complete a online survey on our website. Tell us what route you ride. Tell us how it's going to affect you. Call our public comment inbox at 412-566-5525. Be sure to leave your name and your zip code and a message about how this will affect you. We have online paper surveys at our downtown service center at 623 Smithfield Street, or you could obviously still write to us at Pittsburgh Transit, 345 6th Avenue, 3rd floor, Pittsburgh, 15222. Again, we are holding some hearings. Individuals are encouraged to register to provide their comments. We do have we had 3 public hearings. We have already held 2 of those. The 3rd meeting will be on Thursday, June 12th from 9 to 1 and 3 to 7. We're going to be back at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center, and I encourage folks to come and talk with us.
Thank you so much, Darcy. We really appreciate your time to present this information to everybody. We encourage all of our people listening online tonight, as well as those watching the video, maybe at a later date, to participate in these advocacy campaigns. With that, we're going to pass things over to the City of Pittsburgh. They're going to be presenting about the different vacant lot programs available for residents.
Thank you.
I work with the Department of City Planning as the Vacant Land Stewardship Fellow, and I'm here to talk about a variety of different programs that the Department of City Planning has to activate city-owned vacant lots.
Yasmin, are you able to speak up? It's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh, of course. Is this a better volume?
That's a little bit better. Yep.
Sounds good. Okay. So, the Hill District has quite a few vacant lots across, well over 1,000, and they're a mix of city-owned vacant lots, around 30%, URA-owned and privately owned vacant lots, along with some smaller organizations. Here's a map of all the vacant lots in the city. The blue specifically are the city-owned vacant lots, which is what I'm here to talk to you all about. Yeah, and so that goes over the distribution, but the city has like 3 main avenues on you can go to the next slide. The city has 3 main avenues on how to people can use their city-owned vacant lots. The first program is Help a Lot, and this is helps support community cleanup events and is just 1-day maintenance and cleanup activities that I'll get more into later. We also have our Adopt a Lot program, which I spend the majority of my time focusing on. This is a program to activate vacant lots for 1 to 3 years to do a variety of gardening activities. This is still a temporary use program. If you're interested in using a vacant lot long term, we recommend purchasing a lot. And while this isn't something I'm specifically involved in, that's handled by our real estate department, I'm here to also explain what our city's acquisition process is like, so that if you're interested in purchasing a city-owned vacant lot near you, you know what the next steps are. So first, Help a Lot. The city can help support community cleanups by providing supplies and also having trash pickup by the end of it. And so you're able to mow, pick up later, remove invasive species and weeds. So what you would do is you'd go onto DPW's volunteer website and fill out an application form for a community cleanup. And then afterwards, in that you'll specify the specific dates you're interested in doing and whatnot. And once you submit the application, you actually have the opportunity to also have it published on DPW's volunteer calendar. And so that's a great way to solicit more volunteers for your community cleanup and get more people engaged. On the other side of it, if you're interested in volunteering in your local community, that's a great resource to see what events are available near you. So that's going to be DPW's volunteer page. You can see the link on this flyer and also scan the QR code to learn more. Every volunteer will need to provide a waiver. in order to participate, and they'll guide you through that. Okay, so the other program that I spend most of my time on is our Adopt a Lot program. This is a stewardship program with the goals of fostering neighborhood interaction, reimagining the potential of lots, and encouraging environmental awareness. This was created around 10 years ago now, and it helps enable flower edible gardens and rain gardens in our city-owned vacant lots. And so here's some photos of a variety of the gardens here in Pittsburgh that have been able to be activated through this program. And so you can see the top left corner is a rain garden. We also have gardeners who are interested in addressing a wide variety of issues. So trying to create more natural habitat for our pollinators, beautifying vacant lots so they can look more peaceful and also be more appealing to the eyes, and likewise providing food security. Many neighborhoods in Pittsburgh don't have grocery stores within them, and food security is definitely a big issue. So a lot of our vacant lot gardens are actually focused on connecting people to food and providing that. Likewise, one of my favorite parts in kind of operating the program and assessing the applications, many people who start Adopt a Lot gardens, while some are focused on like providing food for their families, they're also creating learning centers and community hubs where residents and neighbors are able to come and learn how to create their own food and then how to engage in healthy living styles. And so that's my favorite part of the program. So in order to get on a lot, we've got 3 different like types of agreements that help determine what you're able to do. The simplest one with the least restriction, the least like barriers to entry is our Adopt a Lot license, which is for households if they want to have a garden in the vacant lot next to their house or nearby. And so that allows flower and edible gardens. You don't have to pay a fee to garden on this lot. You don't need insurance. You're just not allowed to donate or sell anything on site. And we only allow temporary fencing and raised beds. Our Adopt a Lot lease, which is the most common thing we have, starts out 1 year and can be renewed for 3 years. Allows for rain gardens as well. And this involves the community to get involved and opens that up. And so this still doesn't have a fee, but we do require insurance. Luckily, we have our partner, Grow Pittsburgh, who can also help provide and connect people with insurance at a lower rate through their program. This one still doesn't allow sales or donations. However, we do allow more temporary structures, which is more explained in detail in our toolkit, but this can include chicken coops, hoop houses, things like that. The final agreement we have is a market stand, and what this allows is for you to sell or donate on site. You only have to pay $25, but then you can make sales and donations up to max revenue of $10,000. And so yeah, those are our 3 main options. So to find a lot, you have to go to, we recommend going to lotstolove.org, and that helps show you a map of all the city-owned vacant lots near you. City-owned vacant lots are the only lots that can use the Adopt a Lot program. And once you find a lot near you that you think will go well, you can go onto our Adopt a Lot website. So it's like Adopt a Lot City of Pittsburgh. Scanning the QR code, you can find it in order to request to see if that lot's available for use. Before we approve any Adopt a Lots, we always like to make sure there are no development plans on this lot and that it's available from other departments. Again, this is a temporary use program, and so we only allow stewardship up until there is any sort of concrete plans made for the lot. So the process is to select the site, fill out the intake form, and once we approve the site, we'll send you some applications and ask for some certain documents. And then you'll conduct a soil test. We have a partner, Allegheny County Conservation District, that can help provide this for free for specifically lead testing, and we'll connect you through that. But once you get the okay, you'll sign a lease agreement and we'll get to gardening. Yeah, so like I said, Adopt a Lot is still a temporary use program. So if you want to be on the lot permanently or long term, we always suggest purchasing. So the city Department of City Planning doesn't facilitate sales through Adopt a Lot. If you're interested in purchasing, you'll go to the Division of Real Estate's website, and they actually have a property portal showing all the available vacant lots and structures available for purchase. So you'll go on their property portal site, find lots you're interested in, and then fill out a request to purchase application. What this does is try and see if you're an eligible buyer. So you can't have any outstanding utility bills or unpaid taxes or property violations. And once they approve you as a buyer, you'll put down 10% or 200, whatever is like to the $200 minimum, but at least 10%. And then this sale gets advertised to the public for 30 days. And it gives people an opportunity to object by filling out a request themselves. If there are no objections, then the sale goes to City Council for approval. If there are objections, then it goes to auction and it goes to the highest bidder. So if you want more have questions on this, the Division of Real Estate on the City of Pittsburgh's website is the great place to go, and you can scan this QR code to learn more. Yeah, and so those are the main avenues of using city-owned vacant lots. Penn State Extension has really great gardening resources if you need help getting started. And we do have our own vacant lot toolkit, which you can find on the Adopt a Lot website to learn about the Adopt a Lot program more in depth and get a better sense of what's allowed and what the process is going to look like. If you have any questions, you can contact our open space specialists at oss@pittsburghpa.gov with any questions, and we can help guide you through the process. Yeah, we appreciate your time, and also feel free to contact me through my email if you have any questions as well.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you.
So we want to thank everyone that joined us today. We also want to encourage you to be social with the Hill CDC. You can join our email list where we reach out to over 2,900 residents and stakeholders at hilldistrict.org/signup. Also, we ask that you join our social media pages. We are currently on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky. You can do so at My Hill District. And we are also on LinkedIn.
All right, that concludes our presentation tonight. We appreciate everyone who joined us. Like Diane said, please stay in touch. We would love to hear from you, and have a great evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening.